All right, guys, thank you very much. Well, today's attack, the first deadly one on U.S. forces in the Middle East since Israel's war against Hamas began on October 7th. In that time, Iranian proxy groups have attacked our forces in the region at least 160 times. Retired U.S. Navy Captain Chuck Nash joins us now. And Captain Nash, if you could, first of all, I want to start here because it's my understanding that some of the injured troops from last night's attack were medevaced to Landstuhl in Germany. Give us an idea of what is going on logistically to get our service members to less vulnerable positions in the Middle East.
Well, we've got over 2,000 service personnel stationed in Jordan. Most of them are at an air base down close to Amman. This attack took place out on what we'll call the frontier. But the folks at the air base are there mostly for logistics. So any of the wounded would be taken to that air base and then flown to Landstuhl, which is a magnificent hospital, and they specialize in critical casualty care. So that's the first best place to go. After that, once the patients are stable, they'll probably be flown to the National Military Medical Center at Walter Reed Bethesda.
Okay, thank you. Well, I want to now take a look at a statement. In his statement released this afternoon, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin expressed outrage and said he is deeply saddened by the deaths of 3 of our service members and the wounding of other American troops. Secretary Austin also said the troops were in northeastern Jordan to work for the lasting defeat of ISIS. So I ask you, how will the attack impact that mission, and is ISIS strong enough or organized enough to somehow take advantage of the Iranian proxy attack?
Well, a lot of what's going on up there on the frontier, which is on the border of Jordan and Syria and Iraq, it's right like a tri-border area there. Al-Tanf is a base where we have some special forces and some other folks, and what they're trying to do is interdict ground shipments on Highway 1. And the highway that comes out of Iraq that goes all the way actually across the country into Iran. So by setting up choke point there, they can interdict ground shipments of weapons to ISIS and to other players in Syria. So the support base that got attacked is on the Jordanian side of that border, and it's called Rukban, R-U-K-B-A-N. You can look it up on a map and see how close it is. But you could sit very easily on the other side of that border in Iraq, where these groups, Kataib Hezbollah, is known to have been operating. K.T. McFarland, who was just on your air, was exactly right. We know where these places are. And that's what we need to do, is go out and smoke these things, not pinprick them. I mean smoke them. Leave nothing but rubble and smoke behind. And it'll take out a bunch of people. What's happened, unfortunately, Arthel, is they did this, so we did that. Very proportional, very nice. They did this, we did that. If when they did this, we had just jumped to where we're going to go anyway, it would have been over, and nobody would have died except the bad guys. But now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do something like this to try to claw back the deterrence that would have kept them at bay in the first place. So, yeah. Things are going to get really interesting.
Well, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell released a statement as well this afternoon, and in part saying, quote, the entire world now watches for signs that the president is finally prepared to exercise American strength to compel Iran to change its behavior. Our enemies are emboldened. So in my last minute with you, Captain Nash, who's watching to follow the U.S. lead? Who's watching, looking for weakness?
The Iranians are looking for weakness. Those who will follow are those who have the most to lose in this. And the United States at this point has the most to lose, as do all of the other countries in Europe who would align with the United States, but also have fifth columns within their countries. Our southern border has been wide open. We've had millions come across, many from countries that would support Iranian efforts. That's what we got to worry about here on the home front as well.
We'll leave it there. Captain Chuck Nash, thank you very much for joining us today. As always, we appreciate your expertise, sir. Thank you.
My pleasure, Arthel.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.